Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. So welcome back to a wonderful session of Gita Made Easy, where we will discuss various aspects of Bhagavad-Gita, keeping in mind the various practical applications which we can have in our day-to-day life. If you can hear me clearly and if you can see me properly, can you please raise your hands to confirm? Okay, thank you very much. So today's session is a very, very unique session. The question is very direct. It's called as, do I need a guide in my life? But as always, we will begin the session with some kirtan. I just hope that all of you are able to see my screen. We'll start with this Pranam Mantras. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyadesatarine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyadesatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Yuga Dharma Harinam Sankirtan Yajna Ki Jai. So this session, like all the other sessions, is dedicated to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and he's my spiritual grandfather. All the sessions which we do are actually meant for pleasing Guru and Krishna. So I would like to dedicate this session for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. And I will like to invoke the auspiciousness and their blessings by chanting some Pranam Mantras. Those who know these Pranam Mantras, they can repeat with me. Those who don't, please try to hear it very carefully and absorb the sound vibration. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshkarane Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langhayate Giram Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. So welcome all of you. And the title for today's session is, Do I Need a Guide in My Life? This is a very practical question. Some of us may feel that this is a very rhetorical question. What kind of a question is this? Do I need a guide in my life? Some people will say, obviously, I need a guide in my life. Some people will say, why should I need a guide? Why should I listen to others? I know the best. I know myself the best. And others should mind their own business. So why should I listen to others? How can others tell me what to do? I have to figure out my own path. Some people have this mentality. Some people have a mentality, yes, I need a guide in my life, but just for the sake of fashion. Everybody has a guide. Everybody who's successful has some guru, some guide. So just for the namesake, I will also, but I will not follow. All that I will not do. Simply for the sake of fashion, I will have a guide in my life. I am not going to surrender my false ego to that person. I'll not give the freedom to that person to crush my false ego. I will save my false ego for millions and billions of lifetimes. And I will really consider my false ego to be my true friend, who is actually alienating me from everybody who offers me good advice. So there are two categories of people. And the third category of people is, yes, they are the Arjunas of Kali Yuga. They will actually take the suggestion of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, and they'll try to implement it in a submissive way. So which category do I fall in? We are going to actually try to discuss that. And most importantly, do I actually need a guide or not? Or am I self-sufficient? And what does it mean to have a guide? Does it mean that I lose all my independence? Does it mean that I become a slave, a bonded labor? What does it mean to have a guide? So all these questions will be revealed in today's discussion in the next 1 hour, 15 minutes. You can be very attentive during the sessions, keep noting the verse numbers. As we say, that these sessions are not just motivational talks, but they are actually excerpts from the various themes of Bhagavad-Gita. So please be very attentive during the session, keep noting down the verse numbers, make it a point to go back and read those verses. And if you have any questions, you can note them down. Towards the end of the session, we can take some questions. I'm again going to share my screen. The agenda for today is quite simple. Do I need a guide? Am I actually ready to accept help from someone in the name of guide? And of course, different kinds of guides. And what is the practical tip of the day which can make my life happy? That also we will consider and appreciate. Okay. Do I need a guide? So if I ask you, what is the meaning of knowledge? We have been learning so much in the Mantra of Life sessions. Now Gita Made Easy session. Why don't all of you take to your chat box and describe in 1 or 2 words what knowledge means? And then when most of you have replied, we will see what is the pulse of the audience and then how to go about that discussion. What is knowledge? Describe knowledge in a word or 2. I request all of you to take 10-15 seconds and then write it in the chat box what you think. What is knowledge? You can feel free to write sentences also, not a problem. But the shorter your reply, shorter your answer, the more impetus it will carry because it's easy to digest. Tarun Malik Prabhuji is saying that how to lead life. That is knowledge. Okay, any other answer? Others? Any other answers, please? There are so many devotees here. Nilachal Sahu is saying anything, 1 second. Anything which we don't know, it's always a learning and a knowledge. So if you people don't mind, I will just do an exercise with all these answers and help you to understand where you are missing the right point. So how to lead a life? It is not very clear what kind of life I want to lead. So this answer is very good, but not fully complete. Anything which we don't know, it's always a learning and knowledge. This is 100% correct. But I don't know how to rob a bank. If somebody teaches me how to rob a bank, then will I call it as knowledge? Next answer. How to face situations in life. Again, I've robbed a bank, and now how to face that situation? Is that knowledge? I'm just being the devil's advocate here. Please don't take it personally. I'm just trying to inspire all of you to come up with more perfect answers. Knowledge means to know the truth. There was a cow here yesterday and someone killed the cow. But I know who has killed the cow. I know the truth. So is this knowledge? Avinash Pradhan is telling, know self and the reason of life is knowledge. So knowledge of the self, yes, this is something closer. And reason of the life, that means why do I exist? Yes, now you're getting closer to knowledge. Previous to this, people were not very clear. Even if they were clear in their heart and minds, they couldn't express it clearly. Understanding of anything. I am understanding that it's going to rain in some time. So it's knowledge. This data collection is knowledge. Pranam Mantras is telling that to know who I am. Yes, that is getting closer. To know the purpose of life, even more closer. Who am I? Who is God? And how am I connected to God? Yes, now you people are answering. Now I'm feeling that you people have attended the sessions. Otherwise, knowing anything is knowledge is like a very university or a college kind of an answer. I'm studying in some stream, some course, and anything which is there in my textbook is knowledge. Here is a frog, and a frog has this kind of a liver, this kind of a spleen, this kind of a heart. That is knowledge. No, that is not knowledge. Knowledge basically means two things. That is being revealed by Chanakya Pandit in one of his verses. Matravat paradareshu paradravyeshu lostravat atmavat sarva bhuteshu yapashyati sapanditaha. Chanakya Pandit says, this is not from Bhagavad-Gita, this is from Chanakya Niti. So relax, no need to note it down. Chanakya Pandit says, Matravat paradareshu, one who looks at every other woman except his wife as his mothers. That means other than my wife, all the other women of this world, whether they are a small girl child or an old lady or my neighbor's wife, everybody is my mother. Matravat paradareshu. This is Krishna consciousness. This is the Vedic culture. Not even Bahenji, only mother. Except my wife, everybody else I have to treat like my mother. Matravat paradareshu. Paradravyeshu lostravat. Objects, things, properties which belong to others, they have to be seen as kachra, lostra, garbage. Others' property and other things, they are garbage for me. That means I'm not interested in their properties, in their things, in their possessions. Atmavat sarva bhuteshu. I will look at everybody on the platform of the spirit soul, or I will treat others the way I want themselves. I want them to treat me. Two different definitions. Atmavat sarva bhuteshu. Bhuteshu means living entities. Atmavat means myself. So I'm considering myself. I've attended Mantra of Life. I've read Bhagavad-Gita. I know I'm not this body. I'm not the mind. I'm not the intelligence. I'm the spirit soul. So I will treat all the other living entities on the platform of spirit soul. I will not say that this hen has no soul, so let me cut and eat it. I will not say that this deity of Krishna is just a stone. It has no any life in it, so I will just break it. No, Atmavat Sarva Bhuteshu. Of course, God is not soul, God is super soul. So that example was not very appropriate, but yeah. And ya pashyati sa panditaha, one who has this kind of a vision, who looks at everybody else except his wife as his mother, who treats others' properties as garbage, and who treats everybody the way they want him to be treated, and who looks at everybody on the platform of spirit soul, he is a pandita, he is a man of knowledge. Pandit means one who knows. So this is knowledge. So basically, knowledge comprises two aspects. You can note it down. Knowledge means sense control and good character. These are the symptoms of knowledge. Anywhere, if you see that there is some sense control, people are leading a sense controlled life, not eating, sleeping, mating, and defending like cats and dogs. But wherever you see that people are exhibiting some sense control, that is knowledge. And whenever you see people are having a good character, one may be a great MBBS or a PhD or a BTech or a BE or a master's or magistrate, IAS, IPS, whatever. But hardly do we see anyone having a good character. They have so many degrees to their name, but good character, not there. That means they don't have any knowledge. They have only data with them. What do they do with that data? They sell that data and fill their belly. The Bhagavatam calls this kind of knowledge as Shilpa Vidya. Actually, the kind of degrees which everybody is going through in the universities, that is called as Shudra Vidya or Shilpa Vidya or Udar Bharana Vidya. This is not knowledge. Knowledge means Brahma Vidya. Knowledge means Brahma Vidya. The knowledge of the spirit soul is actual knowledge. One who does not have the knowledge of the spirit soul, it doesn't matter even if he is the prime minister of this country. They cannot be called as Pandit. So this is something to be understood. Even if I see a person who is sweeping the street, or is a peon, or is collecting the garbage, whatever, these positions are not very much respectable positions in the society. When I was a small child in my village, they used to drive the rickshaw, pedal rickshaws. And the person sitting in the car, he used to shout, "Hey, rickshaw!" As if the person who is driving the rickshaw is not a human being, but a rickshaw only. Why? Because this person is puffed up. Oh, I am sitting in a Mercedes and he is sitting in a rickshaw. Hey, rickshaw, just hato, just move. This is not Atmavat Sarva Bhuteshu. So the person sitting in the Mercedes, socially speaking, he is very learned, has so much money, so that he has purchased a Mercedes, XYZ, a respectable position in the society. But he's not a Pandit. He is just another Shudra who is serving someone else for some money, selling the data which he has in his mind. On the contrary, if the rickshawala doesn't feel bad, doesn't take offense, shows good character by not fighting back, controls his senses with the limited money which he has, doesn't engage. This Mercedes guy is engaging in all kinds of illicit activities. But the rickshawala is not doing that. That means the rickshawala is more knowledged, that peon is more knowledged, that sweeper is more knowledged. The symptom of knowledge is just this much only: sense control and good character. Wherever you see this sense control and wherever you see this good character, immediately you should come to the conclusion, here is a Pandit. And whatever they will speak from their experience will be worth giving a life for. And not these idiots who are sitting in the Mercedes with so many degrees, BA, LLB, PhD, High Court judge, etc. These are not men of knowledge. Knowledge means sense control and good character. I'm repeating again and again and again. If you are artificially thinking that you are a man of knowledge, and if you do not have sense control, and if you do not possess good character, You are in a fool's paradise. Sorry for being harsh. Moving on. Another definition of knowledge. This is now that you understood the basic definition of knowledge. Now I will quote something from the Vedas actually. Another definition of knowledge. Vacho vegam manasaha krodha vegam jivva vegam udarupastha vegam etan vegan yuvishahet dhiraha sarvam apimam prithvim sashishyat. So this is written by Rupa Goswami in his Upadeshamrita. Vacho vegam. There are 6 symptoms of knowledge. Earlier I said 2 symptoms of knowledge. Now I'm going in more detail. There are 6 symptoms of knowledge. Vacho vegam. The vegam means urge, and vacho means speech. One who has controlled the urge to speak. Now, does it mean that I should take Maun Vrata? Not speaking for the next 15-20 days? No. We have seen people who take Maun Vrata, they take a slate and they keep writing and they keep communicating the whole day. They take a whole day they are on WhatsApp. I can't speak to you, so I'll just message you. I've taken a Maun Vrata. Or else, even if somebody is a genuine Maun Vrata person, they have gone to some forest areas or some secluded places, they can be held guilty of trying to uplift only them, their own self, without caring for others. You can silence your tongue, but you cannot silence your mind. Real Maun Vrata means to silence the mind and engage it nicely in the service of Krishna. To remove the chatter of the mind and to engage the mind in the service of Krishna is real Vrata. To spiritualize the material mind is real Maun Vrata. However, how to control the urge to speak? The urge to speak cannot be controlled simply by Maun Vrata. This urge to speak is prevalent everywhere. Why are people talking so much? Because they have the urge to speak. Why are all these news channels working so much? They are saying, he said this, he said that, he said that, he said this. Why? They are just banking upon this mad urge to speak. Why do these authors of the modern day society write so many volumes of book which has got nothing to do with self-realization? Fiction. They are spoiling Ramayana, Mahabharata and other such historical texts by their own fantasies, imaginations. Recently, one book was brought to me. In that book, a bestseller book, it was being told that Bharat, if you actually read Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana, you will come to know that Ram, Lakshman, Bharat and Shatrughan were all Vishnu Tattvas, expansions of Lord Krishna. And in that book, this author was writing that Bharat, he was portraying Bharat as a flirt on the streets of Ayodhya. And Ram was telling, enough of flirting for the day, let's go to the forest, kill a deer and eat it. Beer and barbecue. Now imagine if the youth of this country, who has not been brought up, first of all, in a spiritual environment, who have been sent to the slaughterhouse education of the modern day schools and colleges, when they will read such things, what they will conclude. Therefore, there is a very strong necessity to spread the actual spiritual culture, revive the Sanatana Dharma. Simply by making a WhatsApp status update of Jai Shri Ram will not help. One has to actually read the Bhagavad-Gita. One has to chant the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, this Maha Mantra. One has to associate with God, have that experience of God, Krishna Anubhuti, so that when they go and speak to others, their purity and their divine consciousness of God consciousness within will attract others. One who has Krishna, only they can give Krishna to others. One who doesn't have Krishna, what they will give Krishna. So the problem here is people are not reading. Coming back to Vacho Vegam, why are these authors writing all this crazy stuff? Because they know Ramayana is famous. So anything if I comment on Ramayana, it will sell. Anything which I comment on Bhagavad-Gita, it will sell. They don't have any independent thought process as per se. They want to make use of something which is very famous and they want to comment upon it and claim their name to fame. So this is all urge to speak, Vacho Vegam. And it is being expressed in so many. Why does a terrorist attack happen? Because they have an urge to express something. That I don't like this policy, so I've killed 50 people. So Vacho Vegam, knowledge means to control the urge to speak. And how to do that? The best way to control the urge to speak is to, whenever we speak, one should speak Krishna Katha. Whenever one speaks, if they simply talk about the message of Bhagavad-Gita, or they become expert enough to link everything to the message of Bhagavad-Gita and Bhagavatam, that is the best way to control the urge to speak. Otherwise, a person who is not doing this, their speaking is considered as a frog croaking, just inviting the Kal Sarpa to come and eat it. Those who are not engaging their urge to speak in speaking Krishna Katha, they are simply inviting the Kal Sarpa by croaking loudly. So Vacho Vegam, the first symptom of knowledge is to control the urge to speak and speak only Krishna Katha. Next, Manasaha. Just like there is urge to speak, there is urge to think and the urge to imagine. So basically mind. Mind also has to be controlled. Manasaha. Symptom of knowledge means mind should be under my control. My mind should not force me to do a rape. My mind should not force me to do a terrorist attack. My mind should not force me to cheat. My mind should not force me to steal. My mind should not force me to give in to my bad habits. And when I have this victory over my mind, that is knowledge. The second symptom of knowledge is control the urge of mind. Krodh. The third symptom of knowledge is control the anger. Now, how to control the anger? We see that even great sages are not able to control the anger. Sometimes people have this misconception that anybody who's chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, should never get angry. Especially my students who have personal dealings with me. Just now, the class has started at 12. At around 10:30, I scolded one person. So, someone can hold me guilty. And Prabhuji, you are speaking Bhagavad Gita, you only are becoming angry. So, anger is a spiritual emotion, actually. The idea of completely nullifying the anger is a stupid idea. It cannot be done. Just like the urge to, for example, there can be some urge. What is that urge? The urge to pass stool and urine. If one says that I am an elevated person, I will not pass stool and urine from today. That is a stupid idea. Just like when you put a petrol in a bike, the exhaust will come out. So similarly, when you will eat, the stool and urine will come out. So similarly, anger is a spiritual emotion. It will come out. Even Lord Narsimhadev becomes angry at Hiranyakashipu. Even Lord Ram becomes angry at Ravan. Even Lord Krishna became angry at Kamsa. So anger, how to deal with it? Very simple. 2 steps. Anger has to be utilized in the right way and thereby controlled. You can write it down. Anger has to be utilized in the right way, in the right place, and thereby it can be controlled. So what is the right way and the right place? If somebody is insulting me, if somebody is blaspheming me, if somebody is misbehaving with me, I will tolerate. Please note, if somebody is misbehaving with me, insulting me, blaspheming me, I will tolerate. I will not become angry. But if somebody blasphemes the Lord or the devotees of the Lord or the holy name, form, qualities, and pastimes of the Lord, then I will become as angry as fire. Best example is Hanuman. When he went to Lanka, he saw Lord Ram was being blasphemed and he saw Mother Sita was being mistreated. So he became so angry, he became so angry that he burnt the whole Lanka. So even Hanuman can be held guilty of becoming angry. What is this Hanuman? Whole day you are chanting Ram, Ram, but you are becoming angry and burning someone's whole city. What is this? The present day hypocrite human rights people will put Hanuman also in jail. Even when a person who has murdered so many people, when he is being hanged to death, they have sentiments for them also. He has murdered some 50, 60 people, that's separate. He's being treated so badly in jail. He is not getting the roti, he is not getting the dal, he is not getting the chawal. What is this? He's a human being. Treat him like a human being. That doesn't matter whether he treated some 70 other human beings as goats and sheep. This is the hypocrisy of the society. If Hanuman would have burnt the Lanka, people would have put Hanuman in jail. That is called Kali Yuga. So now we can understand what kind of activities we all have done, that we have taken birth in Kali Yuga, and we are simply thinking we are so exalted. So point to be noted here is, the only way to control anger is, when somebody insults me, blasphemes me, misbehaves with me, I will not respond. I will not react. But if somebody blasphemes, insults, or misbehaves with the devotee of the Lord, or with the Lord, or with the name, form, qualities, and pastimes of the Lord, then I will become as angry as fire. That is the only way to utilize anger in the right place and thereby control it. So 3 things we have seen, symptoms of knowledge. Vachovegam, manasaha, krodhavegam. A person who has controlled the urge to speak, the demands of the mind, and the urges of anger. 3 symptoms. What are the other symptoms? Vachovegam, manasaha, krodhavegam, jihva vegam, the urge to eat. This is one of the biggest and the strongest urges which everybody without any exception has. I have seen people traveling for 70 miles every day just to drink monkey blood. I mean, I'm putting it in a gross way, but actually that was the case. People go crazy. They travel to various states just to eat. They travel to various countries just to eat. And in the name of eating, they are earning money like a donkey just to spend the money with the doctor. Why? Because they can't control their urge to eat. Now, eating is also a science. Please listen. How many of you feel that the food which is cooked by your mother is the most tasty food? Please, can you raise your hands and confirm, either electronically or in your video? Very few people are raising their hands. That means they like the food of their neighbor better than their mother. See, once or twice in frustration, you can scold your mother that even the neighbor cooks better than you. But be honest. How many of you feel that the food cooked by your mother is the tastiest food? You'll be surprised. In India, I get these kind of positive response. But when I ask in places outside India, you'll be surprised. They say that I hate my mother's food and I like the food of somebody else, because they don't have that spiritual culture, the Vedic culture. They do not know the value of the mother also. So I get different answers in different kinds of audience. But see, the majority of you have said that, yes, you like the food prepared by your mother. Many of you are not answering anything. I don't know whether you are attending the session or simply logged in. Why do you think that the food of your mother is the best? Can you please write it in the chat box and confirm? What could be the reason that your mother, is she the best cook of the world? Certainly not. But then why is her food the tastiest? Pranjay Mehta is telling, love. My mother loves me, so therefore the food cooked by her is very tasty. Any other answer? Don't say that my mother uses desi masala. She wishes for us to be strong and put love through her work. Yes. It is cooked with pure love and devotion towards their family and children. Yes. So the summum bonum of all the answers here is love. So you please understand that this is not just a joke, this is a science. The person who is cooking, the consciousness which they are with cooking with, that gets transferred into the food. And when you eat that food, that consciousness gets transferred to you. So therefore, when your mother loves you, and when she cooks the food for you, and when you eat that food loves you back. When your mother loves you and she cooks the food for you, and when you eat that food loves you back. Now, can this be said about the servant which you have in your house, or the place where you stay, the hired cook? Or can this be said about the office cooks? No, it cannot be said. If your servant is cooking for you, he knows that you eat 3 rotis and 2 spoons of rice every day. If you demand a 5th roti someday, then he will go crazy. He's like, Buddha marta bhi nahi hai. Every day he used to eat only 3. Today he wants 4. Now it's my time to go and watch some stupid things. But now I'm forced to cook because of him. Anyway, in that grumbling, grudging mood, he will go and cook. He will hit the flour with his ball. He will imagine your face in that, and he will hit it, and somehow he'll make another roti and give. Now imagine the consciousness with which he has cooked. And if you are going to eat that, what is going to happen to you? You will become miserable. You will feel that everybody hates you. So consciousness matters. So therefore, devotees of Krishna, all of you are devotees of Krishna, should not eat food. First of all, there is certain, I had mentioned chapter 17, shloka number 8, 9 and 10, everybody to read, to understand what Krishna likes to eat. So first of all, we should eat only what Krishna eats. Secondly, the best thing is to eat food which is cooked by the devotees of Krishna and offered to Krishna. Because devotees love Krishna, and while they are cooking, they are not thinking, oh, this is palak paneer. This is very, very nice. I'm going to eat it very nicely, and then I'm going to just sleep nicely. This is not the consciousness of a devotee. The consciousness of a devotee is that I have purchased high-grade palak, high-grade paneer. These are the best things which were available. Now I'll offer this best thing to Krishna. I just hope that Krishna will like it. Let me make it with maximum cleanliness. Let me be very meticulous in everything which I do here. Let me be always absorbed, just like Mother Yashoda, when she was churning butter, she was always absorbed in the pastimes of her son. So similarly, while cooking, also following in the footsteps of Mother Yashoda, I'll be thinking of the name, form, qualities, and pastimes of Krishna. I'll be thinking about the Govardhan Leela and cooking. So with that consciousness, when devotees cook, and when they put a tulsi leaf in it, and when they offer it to Krishna, and Krishna accepts it, when we get that food which is surcharged by the saliva of Krishna, because Krishna has tasted it, when we eat that food, then imagine the degree which we will advance in our spiritual life. So the urge to eat is very difficult to control. The tongue is the most difficult sense organ to control. The tongue is in straight line with belly and genitals. Tongue is in straight line with belly and genitals. So one who can control the tongue, they can control the belly also, they can control the genitals also. But one who cannot control the tongue, their belly will never be controlled, and their genitals, I don't want to talk about it now. So the remaining 3 symptoms of knowledge are one who has controlled the urges of tongue, belly, and genitals. So the totally 6 symptoms of knowledge. One who has controlled the urge to speak, one who has controlled the demands of the mind, one who has controlled the urges of the anger, and one who has controlled the urges of tongue, belly, and genitals is called as a dhira, or a man of knowledge. And this dhira, what can he do? Sarvam apimam prithvim sashishyat. Such a person is qualified to become a guru, and he is allowed by the scriptures to travel all over the planet and make disciples. Could you please repeat it? Yes. Who can become a guru? Just like when I have to buy the gold, I should know what is BIS hallmark. I should know what is this genuine benchmark of knowing whether it is actually gold or not. If somebody tells me gold is shining and gold is yellow in color, but doesn't tell me anything more about it. So I go to the vegetable shop, I see the pumpkin, it is shining and it is yellow in color. And I ask the shopkeeper, is this gold? And the shopkeeper is a dacoit. He says, yes, this is gold. And I pay him 25,000 rupees and I buy one pumpkin. Sounds very funny, but this is what's happening in the case of gurus. People don't know who is a guru and what is the qualification to be a guru. And any YouTube sensation is thinking that I am qualified to be a guru and let me take everybody to hell along with me. Some gurus say, why do you need to read the Bhagavad-Gita? I have not read any scripture. Your mind is like an open parachute. Keep it open. Why do you want to restrict it with Bhagavad-Gita and Bhagavatam? Idiots. As if they know what the full truth is. You cannot even know the name of your father if your mother doesn't tell you. And you're trying to know about the supreme absolute truth by your open-minded parachute-like mind, which is filled with filth. I'm sorry, I speak very harshly in my sessions, but that's the reality, that the present day people, their mind is like a pig. What is a pig thinking of? Stool. Full day it is searching for stool, stool, stool. Night also you'll see it will be digging and searching for stool. Present day people are like pigs. And they think that there is no need to read Bhagavad Gita. Simply you keep the mind open like a parachute and they'll understand supreme absolute truth. So who can become a guru? The scripture is very clear. One who has controlled the urge to speak, that means speaks only Krishna Katha. One who has controlled the mind, that means has engaged the mind in the services of Krishna. One who can control the anger, that means tolerate all inconveniences and blasphemies towards own self, but become as angry as fire when the Lord or his devotees are put in inconvenience. One who has controlled the urge to eat, that means has taken a vow of eating only Krishna Prasad, and thereby one who has controlled his belly and genitals. So I repeat, 6 urges. One who has controlled the urge to speak, one who has controlled mind's demands, one who has controlled the urges of anger, one who has controlled the urge to eat voraciously palatable things, and one who has controlled belly and genitals, one who has full control on these 6 urges. Sarvam apimam prithvim sashishyat. He is qualified to travel all over the world and make disciples. Please take note, the scriptures are not related to some religion, caste, or creed. They talk about the universe and the planet in general. Sarvam apimam prithvim sashishyat. That means whether you are in Germany or Australia or India or UK or Pakistan or Dubai or wherever, if you have controlled these 6 urges, irrespective of caste, creed, religion, you just travel all over the world and make disciples. So this is knowledge. So just to recapitulate, we have seen 2 definitions of knowledge. Brief definition of knowledge by Chanakya Pandit. Matravat paradareshu paradravyeshu lostravat atmavat sarvabhuteshu yah pashyati sapanditah. One who sees everybody else except his own wife as mother. One who sees everybody else's property as garbage. And one who treats everybody on the platform of spirit soul is a man of knowledge. A more deeper definition of knowledge we saw. One who has controlled the urge to speak, the urges of the mind, the demands of anger, and the urges of tongue, belly, and genitals, is qualified to travel all over the world and make disciples. So this is another deeper definition of knowledge written by Rupa Goswami from Bhakti, from Upadeshamrita. There is a book called Nectar of Instruction. It's a very, very nice book. I recommend everybody to read it. I can pass on the link of that book. Moving on, we have seen definitions of knowledge. We have revised it. Now let's see what Bhagavad-Gita has to say. Prabhuji, this is Gita made easy. You're not quoting from Bhagavad-Gita only. We will quote. So here is 5.18. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shuni Chaiva Shvapake Cha Panditaha Samadarshinaha. The humble sages, by the virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and a gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater who is an outcast. Verse number 5.18. What does this mean? Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini. How can I see with equal vision a Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater? How is it possible? Why a dog eater is being called an outcast? Prabhuji, I have seen so many places where they kill the dog and they hang it and people buy and eat. Actually, according to the Vedas, people who are so degraded that they will start killing dogs and eating them. See, a dog is considered as a very sinful animal. Now, some people may probably report this video on YouTube saying, this is very bad. Dog is sinful. How can dog be sinful? Dog is the best friend of my life. I don't want to be friends with my family. I don't want to be friends with my friend. I hate God. So I have purchased a dog and I'm serving the dog day and night. How can dog be sinful? Actually speaking, according to scriptures, dog is a sinful animal because it has a tendency of urinating on the tulsi plant also. And on, if there is a deity or a Shivalinga or any kind of holy thing which is kept, the dog will definitely urinate on that. Definitely. This tendency is not there in other animals. You make a cow pass from there, they will not disturb the tulsi plant. But a dog will definitely urinate. So, people who are so degraded that they kill dogs and eat, there is a special term in the scriptures which is called as Chandal. And the dog eaters are supposed to be the lowest amongst the mankind. So you just find out which are those countries or places where dogs are eaten so much. They are all Chandals. At least even 500 years ago, nobody would associate with them also. Because their thought process is like a dog. Dogs are very stupid in one sense. So, how to look at a dog eater as well as a gentle Brahmana with equal vision? This is very difficult, Prabhuji. How to do that? Does it mean that I will invite a gentle Brahmana and make him sit on a nice sofa, and I will invite somebody from Korea, a dog eater, and invite him and give him a seat next to the Brahmana? No. Equal vision means Atmavat Sarva Bhuteshu. Look everybody at the soul platform. What does it mean? I'll explain. Here is a Brahmana. He did some nice activities. His karma was really good. He was a pious man, sense controlled. So therefore, he has got birth in the body of a Brahmana. And he is not just a Brahmana by birth, but he is a Brahmana by guna and karma also. Chapter number 18 describes the qualities of a Brahmana. So devotees can read that. So by guna and karma, here is a Brahmana. So what can I do something? Can I do something for this Brahmana so that he will advance in his journey in Krishna consciousness? Yes. I can invite him home, and I can engage him in giving a lecture on Bhagavad-Gita. But here is a dog. This dog had done some really stupid activities in his previous lifetimes. That's why this soul has got a body of a dog. I cannot call a dog and ask him to sit in the Gita Made Easy sessions. Then what can I do for the dog? Okay, I can offer some nice bhoga to Krishna, and then I can give that prasad to this dog. And simply by eating this prasad, the dog will get a human body in next life, and then will get devotee association. And in that association of devotees, he will become advanced and become a devotee of the Lord. This is called as Pandita Samadarshinaha. He is not actually seeing the Brahmana. He's not actually seeing the dog. He's seeing that here is a soul who did some pious work, who was sense controlled. He got the body of a Brahmana. Here is a soul who was extremely sexually agitated all the time. So therefore has got the body of a dog this life and did so many impious things. How can I help this dog so that it advances in its journey towards Krishna? How can I help this Brahmana so that it advances in his journey towards Krishna? I am seeing both at the platform of spirit soul. This is the meaning of Panditaha Samadarshinaha. Now, this is the third and the higher definition of knowledge. Soon as we go ahead, we will go deeper and deeper into knowledge. This has got nothing to do with the BA, LLB and PhD degrees which we have. Knowledge means good character and sense control. Knowledge means controlling the 6 urges. Knowledge means looking everyone on the platform of the spirit soul and helping them accordingly. Simply by distributing some kambal, simply by distributing some biscuits, and simply by opening some hospitals, you cannot help anyone on the spiritual platform. I'm not decrying these activities. They have their own importance. They need to be done. But please understand, the best hospital is the hospital in which the lust, greed, anger, illusion, enviousness, and attachments of people are cured. That is the best hospital. You can cure a skin disease, but how do you cure the disease of the soul? So therefore, it is more important to open Bhagavad-Gita hospitals rather than opening actual hospitals where only body consciousness is encouraged. We have to save you. We have to save you. Which doctor can save someone from old age? Which doctor can save someone from diseases? Can any hospital write and give that for the next 10 years you'll never get any disease? Which doctor can save you from death? If Michael Jackson can die, then anybody can die. If Jayalalitha can die, then anybody can die. So these are the real problems. So the symptom of knowledge is three discussions we've had. One, good character, sense control, control of the 6 urges, looking everybody at the platform, spirit, soul. These are 3 definitions of knowledge. Now let's go into yet another deeper definition of knowledge. By the way, even before I go into this discussion, are you people, those who are still in the session, are you feeling happy that you are getting to know these definitions of knowledge? Are you feeling happy about it? Can you please raise your hands and confirm electronically? And also if you want to. Little strange, I only get fixed number of hands raised. Some people, they really don't raise their hands. Are they not happy? Yeah, now everybody's raising their hand. Okay, so we'll move on further. Thank you. You can lower your hands now. Otherwise, the next poll will be not correct. Sorry. Something happened to my share screen. It got disturbed. Hope you are able to see my full screen now. Okay. So the next deeper definition, the fourth level of knowledge is Indriyanam hi charatam yanmano anuvidhiyate tadasya harati pragyam vayurnavam nivam bhasi. Now, this is not a definition of knowledge. This is a consideration on knowledge. Bhagavad-Gita 2.67. Lord Krishna tells to Arjuna that as a strong wind sweeps away a boat on the water, even one of the roaming senses on which the mind focuses then can carry away a man's intelligence. Why I have brought this? This is not a definition of knowledge. This is just a statement, a consideration that even an intelligent man who knows what is right and what is wrong, by chance also, if he focus, if his even one of his roaming senses focus on a sense object, then the mind can be carried away. First question. Do you think we have discussed definitions of knowledge? Knowledge makes one intelligent, accountable, responsible. Do you really think that knowledge and intelligence is sufficient? Even this verse of Bhagavad Gita says that even a knowledgeable person can be dragged into a miserable material existence, ready to do sinful activities. It is very clear that when we are being dragged like this by the modes of material nature and by our mind, even our knowledge and intelligence cannot save us. My question to everybody is, do you think that this happens with almost everybody every now and then? Do you think? If yes, then can you please raise your hands to confirm? Do you think this happens with everybody? Let's be honest. Don't artificially say that I am a Paramahamsa, I don't have such kind of problems, my mind is fully controlled. Don't say like that. Let's be honest. And we are not judging anybody here. Okay, please lower your hands. Thank you for being honest. We discussed so many definitions of knowledge, but Bhagavad Gita says even a man of knowledge, even if by chance one of his roaming senses focus on a sense object, then he will get carried away just like a strong wind sweeps away a boat. That means knowledge and intelligence is not sufficient to save us, especially when we are in a crisis. I repeat, knowledge and intelligence. We first saw the definition of knowledge, by the way. But then now we are coming to the conclusion that these knowledge are also not sufficient to help us in crisis. Then what should we do? Even Arjuna is feeling the same, just like you people felt. Arjuna also felt like that. He said, Arjuna uvacha athakena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha anichannapi varsneya baladivaniojitaha. Bhagavad Gita 3.36. Arjuna said, O descendant of Vrishni, that is Krishna, by what is one impelled to do sinful acts, even unwillingly, as if engaged by force? Arjuna is telling, I don't want to do sinful things. But I feel that somebody is dragging me and engaging me by force. What is that thing? Let's analyze it. Bhagavad Gita 2.62 and 2.63 answered this question. The Bhagavad Gita says, Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu pajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho bijayate. When the mind meditates on a sense object, what is a sense object? For my eyes, a horrible thing is a sense object. For my ears, some gossip is a sense object. For my tongue, something horrible is to eat, according to the Vedic injunctions, is a sense object. So like that. When the mind meditates on any sense object, then lust develops. Lust means to want to enjoy something which is not constitutionally mine. For example, my neighbor's land is not mine, but when I want to enjoy it, trespass it, then I'm lusty for his land. Lust doesn't simply mean the attraction between the opposite genders. Lust can be very generic also. So meditation on sense, of course, the prime form of lust is the unnecessary attraction between male and female in the name of free mixing and in the name of expression of art by exposing the body, or in the name of being modern and independent, and so many norms have come up which have become the norm of the society now. So when somebody meditates on sense objects, then lust develops. Dhyayato vishyaha pumsaha. And then sangat sanjayate kama, kama krodho bhijayate. So lust gives rise to anger. When one becomes angry, then they forget the purpose of their life. That is to become a devotee of Krishna and engage all the senses in the service of Krishna. And then they fall down. So this shloka, dhyayate vishya pumsap sangaste shubhajayate sangat sanjayate kama. Kamat krodho vijayate. This is the mantra or the formula of the marketing industry. The entire sales and marketing depends on this one single shloka of Bhagavad-Gita. Bombard someone by exposure to sense objects. Now imagine you are walking on the New York Times New Square street. So much advertisement is there all around. So much, unlimited. It is not possible for you to have a peaceful coexistence while walking on the street. Either you'll become agitated, or you'll end up buying something, or you'll end up becoming lusty, or you'll fall into illusion, starting to think that the reality of life is something else. Some advertisement, somewhere will tell you that you are not good. If you want to become good, go and buy this t-shirt, or go and engage in this illicit activity. Go and do some gambling. Take a cigarette and smoke it and feel cool. You are smoking fire, but you feel cool. So like that, you'll be bewildered. So that is called as memory loss. Meditation on sense objects leads to lust. You were bombarded with so many meditations. You didn't want to do that, but you were exposed to it. So now meditation began. So you became lusty. And when you became lusty, whether you satisfy the lust or whether you don't satisfy the lust, the result is anger always. Why mostly anger? Because no matter how much you satisfy your lust, it will never be satiated or it will never be satisfied. Lust is like an itch. If I have an itch and if I keep scratching, then first 30 seconds I'll get relief. But again, after 30 seconds, I'll want to itch. And again, I'll want to itch. And then again, I'll itch. Slowly the skin will come out. Then the blood will come out. Then the tissue will come out. Then it will become a wound. But let me ask you honestly, even when the wound has come out and even when the bones are visible, even at that time, will the itch go away? No. You go on scratching eternally, you'll go crazy, but the itch will not go away. So that is why anger will come. Because one is sincerely becoming a servant of their senses, and lifetime after lifetime, they are trying to satisfy their senses, satisfy their lust, but it is not getting satisfied. It's like I'm pouring ghee in fire every time. So therefore, lust always leads to anger. Whether you satiate the lust or whether you unsatiate the lust, in all conditions, it will be unsatisfied. So lust always leads to anger. And anger leads to memory loss. Memory loss means, what does memory loss means? That you forget who you are. What is the purpose of life? You start thinking, I'm a doctor, I'm an engineer, I'm a high court judge, I'm a magistrate, I'm a businessman, I'm an Indian, I'm an Australian, I'm a cat, I'm a dog. You stop thinking that you are a spirit soul. This is the result of hunger. And then you pick up a gun and kill others. Or else you do something stupid. Or else you become an atheist. These kind of things are happening. So, even this can happen with someone who has knowledge also. I repeat, this can happen with someone who has knowledge also. Otherwise, why will Arjuna be asking it? So even great people commit mistake. To err is human. Now let's understand who's Arjuna. I've already described that he's one of the greatest personalities ever. You and me can be called as men of ignorance. We don't have any knowledge. But Arjuna was not. Whatever definitions of knowledge I discussed with all of you, Arjuna is strictly in line with all those definitions. Here are some of the examples. Arjuna went to the heavenly planetary systems to get higher military warfare weapons, which were not on the gross but on the subtle platform, mantra technology. They used to work on mantra technology. Now all this is unknown to the unfortunate, misguided, stupid, blind, atheistic human population of the planet. So Arjuna was approached. Now, first of all, you have to understand what is heavenly planetary system. Heavenly planetary system means, suppose if you want to eat one pizza, you can eat only one pizza, at the max 2 pizza. But heavenly planetary system means you eat 100 pizzas, still nothing will happen to your body. So that means the facility for sense gratification is thousands of times better than Earth. And not just sense gratification. Earth means mode of passion. Heavenly planetary system means mode of goodness. They are in the super excellent quality of goodness. But of course, going to heaven is not the goal of our life. Because even in heaven, people go through birth, disease, old age, and death. We want to go back home, back to Godhead, Golok Vrindavan, and associate the devotees of Krishna and become an eternal servant of Krishna. That is the goal of our life. Not Swarga. Swarga is meant for all these karma kandis who want to go to the moon and who want to go to Swarga. But however, Arjuna went to Swarga, heavenly planetary systems, and there Urvashi approached him. Urvashi is such kind of a beautiful personality that we cannot even imagine. I'm saying why we cannot even imagine, because nobody has seen Urvashi on this planet. If you will see, then you will be completely out of, as I said, you cannot even imagine. So earthly planetary system resident was approached by Urvashi, and Arjuna had the sense control to say, no, I will not associate with you. So therefore, he was certainly sense controlled. He had good character, so he was a man of knowledge. He used to always respect his elders. That means he used to not go against them. Yudhishthira, he could have told, I am a great bowman. You are simply tolerating everything. I will shoot 2 arrows and make the whole world my servant. But he had the etiquette. Wherever you see a good etiquette, immediately you should understand that that man has controlled his mind. He's not rebelling against Yudhishthira. He has controlled his anger. Without the permission of Yudhishthira, he's not fighting. He has controlled the urge to speak. He's not backchatting with someone or arguing with someone in presence of Bhima and Yudhishthira. So all symptoms of knowledge were there in him. He had respect for elders. And of course, we know how he used to meditate while shooting the target. He was full of knowledge, well cultured. But Arjuna himself is asking this question, that what to do, Krishna? Sometimes it feels that mind is, I don't want to do sinful activities, but as if I'm being dragged by some force. So certainly we should conclude that no matter how much qualified, intelligent, knowledge I am, that is not enough. I need external help. No matter how much knowledge, intelligent, expert I am, that is not enough. I need external help. How many of you agree that no matter what BA, LLB, MA, PhD I have done, I need external help? How many of you feel you need external help? At least Arjuna felt like that. And he had the maturity to express it to Krishna that, yes, I need external help. How many of you feel? Those who feel that you need external help, can you please raise your hands? My further discussion depends on your vote. If I see that majority have agreed to this, then I will wrap up faster. If I see that majority has not agreed, then we will discuss for another 2 hours. Because that's the title, Do I Need a Guide? If all of you are not convinced about having a guide, then my job as a teacher has failed. What about others? Arjuna was the most knowledgeable and the most cultured man, the hero of Mahabharata. Even he felt that he needs external help, a guide. Do you think that you also need a guide, or do you think that you are better than Arjuna also and you don't need a guide? Okay, please lower your hands. So the problem is we do not have our false ego sometimes doesn't allow us to take guidance, to take help. Am I ready to accept help from someone? What does it take to ask for help? Many of us who are arrogant fools, even when we are struggling, we don't take help. Help is easily available. This Indian education system is like that. That anybody who is wrong is criticized very severely. Anybody who asks for help is looked down upon. Because of this culture, the idea has come in that I cannot be wrong. I should not be wrong. I must not be wrong. Because of this unnecessary burden, I cannot be wrong, I should not be wrong, I must not be wrong. So therefore, I should never ever be in a position to ask for help from someone because my nose will be cut. I want to be the boss of everybody. If I'm only asking for help from others, how will I exploit everybody? The only reason why I've come in this world is to exploit everybody. I have come to exploit my dog, I have come to exploit my wife, I have come to exploit my husband, I have come to exploit my children, I have come to exploit my government, I have come to exploit my resources, I have come to exploit the resources of God, I have come to exploit my own body and mind. How will I exploit everybody if I start asking for help? I can't ask for help. Let me keep exploiting everybody and let me die, but not ask for help. This is going on. But unfortunately, Arjuna was not in this kind of a trap. He was mature enough. What does it take? Let's see. Arjuna very openly said, the hero of Mahabharata said, Karpanya dosho pahata swabhavaha prichhami tvam dharma samudha chetaha yachriyasya nishchitam bruhi tanme shishyasteham sadhimam tvam prapannam. Before the verse number 2.7, Bhagavad-Gita was a conversation where Arjuna was speaking, Krishna was just hearing as a friend. But after this verse number 2.7, this conversation is not just a friendly conversation. It becomes a teaching. Krishna assumes the role of a teacher and Arjuna resumes the role of a student. Arjuna is saying, now I'm confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I'm asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I'm no longer your friend. Now I'm your disciple. A soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. So this is the mood in which any guidance can be offered and any guidance can be requested. If I go with a challenging mood, or if I go with an arrogant mood, or if I go in a mood where I'm simply trying to fight my way out or argue my way out, I'll never be able to actually get help from anybody. Please consider, if I have some problem and I have not even realized that problem, and if somebody is trying to help me to correct that problem, then who is the beneficiary here? Is it me or is it the person who is correcting me? Option A, me. Option B, the person correcting me. Who is the beneficiary? Take to your chat box and write. Option A, when somebody corrects me, who is the beneficiary, me or the person who is correcting me? See, all of you are unanimously telling me. Ravitej is telling both. Option A, me. Others also please answer. Some people are neither raising hands nor answering. I'm becoming very doubtful whether you are actually awake or not. Okay. So that was the case with Arjuna. This is what it takes to get guidance. We should give this ability to at least someone in our life who has the freedom to correct us. If we block everybody in the name of self-esteem and mind your own business, how will we ever improve? Even if we read the Bhagavad-Gita 500 times, until we take shelter of a devotee of Krishna, now, the book can only tell us don't do this, but the devotee can slap us and tell us that why are you doing this? You should stop doing this. The book will not slap us, but the person will slap. The devotee who is an embodiment of the principles of Bhagavad-Gita, he can slap us and he can wake us out of our ignorance. So we all need a guide in our life. And a guide cannot be dealt with in an arrogant or a challenging mode. So Arjuna allowed Krishna to help. So we should also give such privilege at least to one person in our life. They can call us at any time and blast us what you're doing. But again, the idea that I will always be perfect, I am perfect, or I have to be perfect, this kind of idea will break us. It will not let us take help. Until unless I agree that yes, I can go wrong. If I'm corrected, I am the beneficiary and I can be corrected. Until unless I cultivate these ideas, we will never ever allow anybody to help us. Even if God comes down personally, just like Duryodhana. Duryodhana did not allow God also to help him. They say only God can help him. But in case of Duryodhana, even God couldn't help him. Why? Because he did not allow God to help him. But Arjuna allowed God to help him. So we should also allow God and the representatives of God to help us. Who is a representative of God? Who's a devotee of Krishna is a representative of Krishna. A devotee of God is a representative of God. Who is a guru? We saw the definition. Anybody who speaks Krishna Katha to everybody all the time, who knows the Krishna Tattva, is Guru. Then we should not see whether he is a sannyasi or a brahmana or a shudra. Anybody who knows the science of Krishna can be accepted as Guru. Kiva vipra kiva nyashi shudra kene noe jai Krishna Tattva veta sei Guru hoy. Whoever knows the science of Krishna, irrespective of their caste, creed, religion, status of existence, if they know the science of Bhagavad-Gita, if they know the science of Krishna, they are Guru. However, if they do not know the science of Krishna, no matter what word jugglery they are doing, no matter how charismatic a personality they are, if they are not knowing the science of Krishna, they cannot be accepted as Guru. So, importance of spiritual master in life is highlighted by this verse. Kim karma kim akarmeti kavayopyatra mohitaha tatte karma pravakshami yadgyatva mokshyase shubhat. Even the intelligent are bewildered in determining what is action and what is inaction. Now I shall explain to you what action is, knowing which you shall be liberated from all misfortune. So Krishna gives an amazing advice to Arjuna. What is that advice? Tadavidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. So even Krishna also feels that everybody needs a spiritual master. Otherwise, why will he tell Arjuna that just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master? Inquire from him submissively and render service to him. Don't just inquire and run away from there. No, you have to stay with him in his association and render service to him, either physically or online. The self-realized souls, why? Because they have realized Krishna. They are devotees of Krishna. They can impart knowledge unto you. Why? Because they have Krishna with them. They have seen the ultimate truth, which is Krishna. So an intelligent person is always humble. This is the process of getting knowledge. So Arjuna needed help. We also need help. And the process of doing this is tadavidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. One has to approach a spiritual master without taking shelter of a spiritual master who is a devotee of Krishna. One cannot get Brahma Vidya. One can get Shilpa Vidya. Go to the university, mug up some books, write some exams, crack some interviews, get some money, do sense gratification. Not a problem. But if you really want to understand what is the purpose of life, you need to approach a spiritual master. Don't try to approach a spiritual master. Once a couple approached me saying that we are trying from the last 5 years, we are not getting a child. Can you help us? Don't try to approach the guru for all these things. No. Don't try to approach the spiritual master for getting a blessing so that you'll get promotion. Don't approach them so that some disease can be cured. This is an insult to the bona fide guru. Approach them only when you have become serious in making a solution of the birth, death, old age, and disease of your life. Only when you become serious, approach a bona fide spiritual master. If you are not serious, then there are many people waiting all around in the name of saints, speaking very nicely on YouTube. You can take shelter of them and they will very nicely engage you, keep you in illusion, and they will also remain in illusion. A blind man leading a blind following. So don't approach a spiritual master for non-spiritual inquiries. Only when you want a spiritual solution to your material problems, then you approach a spiritual master. So what are the various kinds of spiritual masters? What are the various kinds of gurus? First is the free advice guru. Take my advice, I don't use it anyway. All these so-called colleagues, friends, passers-by, thelawalas, standing outside your house, everybody will give you advice. They are giving advice to Narendra Modi also. Their basic idea is to just show everybody that I know so many things. They have no idea about the problem which they are dealing with. Neither do they have the qualification. And after giving us some advice, they are never going to come back and check with us that, oh, last week I gave you some advice. Did it help you? That means they are not actually interested in our well-being. And they do this advice giving business just as a matter of sense gratification, self gratification rather. Why? Because they cannot control the urge to speak. So the first symptom of becoming a guru fails in this free advice gurus. Next, exploiting gurus. I've given the example of two instruments which can tell you there are two line of people who really exploit people very nicely. Because people are depending on them. These are the kinds of people who are supposed to help us. But when they become exploiters, nothing can be done. Especially the lawyers. You are, by some unfortunate situation, you are in the court and you are pumping money into your lawyer. You don't know that your lawyer and the opposite party lawyer have made an agreement that we will put the arguments in such a way so that the case goes for 5 years so that we can both get some salary for the next 5 years. This is called exploitation. Similarly, doctors these days, they have some targets and you have to do these many surgeries, you have to do these many, you have to issue these many medicines. I lost all my faith in doctors when I was having a normal cough and cold. I didn't go to the doctor also. I took my friend. But the doctor told, you have cough and cold. Can I check you up? I said, yeah, go ahead. And then he checked me. He put some torch in my mouth and put some torch in my nose. And then he said that there is a bone in your nose which is crooked, because of which you have got this cough and cold, and it will be very frequent in future. Unless you operate it and to make the angle straight, whole your life you will be suffering with cough and cold. So therefore, here is the appointment for nose surgery. I was shocked. I'm having normal running nose, and here is a person who is telling me I will do your nose surgery. Here I am sitting right now after so many years. I am speaking to you and I don't have a running nose, but that doctor was telling surgery needs to be done. And the angle of the nose has not changed. So this means that he had a corrupt idea. He wanted to make his target surgery. This is called as second category of guru, called exploiting guru. However, don't be upset. There are real gurus also who are our well-wisher, who are compassionate, who are not exploitative, and who are selfless. There are real sadhus. One of the definitions of real sadhu, which I have taken from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, chapter 25, shloka number 21. Titikshavaha karunikaha suhridaha sarvadehinam ajat shatravaha shantaha sadhavaha sadhu bhushanaha. The symptoms of a sadhu are, a sadhu is a man of knowledge. So yet another definition of sadhu, or knowledge, or yet another definition of a guide. A sadhu, the symptoms for sadhu are that he is tolerant, he is merciful, friendly to all living entities, not just to human beings. He is friendly to the meat, fish, and eggs also. He has no enemies. This actually means that he never considers anybody his enemy. Even Maharaj Yudhishthir had enemies, who was a perfect sadhu. So what to speak of others? But Maharaj Yudhishthir never looked at anyone as his enemy. Therefore, he was called as Ajat Shatru. So a sadhu has no enemies. He is very peaceful. That means his senses are not agitated. That means fully controlled the 6 urges of the senses. And lastly, he abides by the scriptures. He doesn't say that there is no need to read any scriptures. He himself reads the scriptures and encourages others to read the Bhagavad-Gita as it is, not other versions of corrupted volumes of Bhagavad-Gita. And all his characteristics are sublime. Just like when you put some abhushan, you think that you have become very attractive, or you become attractive. Why to think? Similarly, when you have these 6 qualities as a sadhu, tolerant, merciful, friendly to all living entities, no enemies, peaceful, and abiding by the scriptures, you become attractive in the eyes of Krishna or God. So we have such sadhus. And one of the symptoms of such a sadhu is evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo viduhu sakale neha mahata yogo nashta param tapah. This supreme science was thus received through a chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science appears to be lost. So all the sadhus, they are in a chain of disciplic succession. They have received the knowledge from their own spiritual masters, and they have maintained it as it is. And that is how, one second, something is happening in my laptop. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo viduhu sakalene hamata yogo nashta paramtapa. So one of the primary requirement of a guide is that they should not be an upstart. They should not just wake up from their, just like when you go to a college, you verify whether they have accreditation from the government of India or not. Otherwise, your degree is invalid. So similarly, a guide should also be there in some parampara system. Guru Shishya Parampara. In the Mantra of Life sessions, I explained that there are 4 paramparas: the Brahma Madhva Sampradaya, the Shri Sampradaya, the Kumar Sampradaya, and the Rudra Sampradaya. The knowledge of Bhagavad-Gita as it is has been retained, maintained in the right way in these 4 sampradayas only. If you accept the knowledge or the lessons of Bhagavad-Gita outside these 4 sampradayas, you are sure to be misled, because they have not followed the Bhagavad-Gita 4.34. Tadavidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. That is the process of knowledge. They have not followed it. Some upstart is telling that I never saw my guru, I never served my guru. Who is your guru? Oh, 5,000 years ago, he was in Himalayas. Simply, I have accepted him as my guru. I don't know whether he has accepted me as his disciple or not, but I think he's my guru. And I have never read the Bhagavad Gita, but I want you to follow what I say. This is called upstart mechanism. If you are very sure to find out whether the college is approved by AICTE or other boards or not. So similarly, if you are considering someone as a guru, you should first verify in which Guru Shishya Parampara are you coming, sir? So ISKCON comes in the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. The leader of this Sampradaya is Brahma, who received the knowledge directly from Krishna. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye Muhayanti Yat Suraya. First verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. Brahma was given the knowledge. The knowledge was revealed in the heart of Brahma, my Lord himself. And Brahma gave it to Narada. Narada gave it to Vyasa. Then Madhvacharya comes in this line. And then finally, Lord Chaitanya comes, who is the incarnation of Krishna himself. So ISKCON comes in Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. If you have the Bhagavad Gita as it is, and if you open the introduction, and if you go to the last page of the introduction, you will find a list of 32 names, starting from Krishna, ending with A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So that is how bona fide this parampara is. We can actually tell you, these are the 32 acharyas in our line who have passed on the message of Bhagavad Gita the way Krishna told it and the way Arjuna understood it. No mirch masala and artificial personal interpretations and word jugglery has been added. According to me, in my opinion, all these blunders are not there in the word of God. Word of God is perfect and God has explained it. The acharyas have understood it. Ved Vyas has understood it. Arjuna has understood it. They have passed it on and it has been kept intact in the Bhagavad Gita as it is. Simply read it as it is and become perfect. No need to interpret. So one of the primary requirements of a guru or an acharya is that they should be in a Guru Parampara system. So today, I would like to summarize now. In the next session, I'm going to talk more about bona fide gurus. Although this was a topic for the next session, I just exceeded. And I gave you a link of what we will discuss in the next session. We are going to discuss the qualities of a sadhu. We are going to discuss in more detail what is this Guru Parampara system. And finally, we are going to discuss about a genuine sadhu. I think I can also give you the hint. We are going to discuss about Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of ISKCON. And we are going to see that, okay, all these principles which we are talking about, how are they actually manifesting in his character? And apart from that, I will discuss some more aspects. So in today's session, primarily, we understood what is knowledge, sense control, good character, control over the 6 urges, and looking everybody at the spiritual platform. These are some definitions of knowledge. However, we also understood that knowledge and intelligence are not enough, especially in times of crisis. We need external help. It takes maturity to ask for help. A great hero like Arjuna also needed help. So therefore, I also need help. Therefore, I need a guide. Do I need a guide? Yes, I need a guide. If I'm thinking I don't need a guide, then surely I need a guide. And then we started seeing what is the definition of a guide or a sadhu, which we are going to deal more detail in next session. But briefly, we saw that he is Titikshavaha Karanika Suhradaha Sarvadehina Majat Shatravaha Shanta. He is tolerant, merciful to all living entities, friend of all living entities, merciful to everybody. He has no enemies. That means he considers no one as his enemy. He is completely peaceful, sense-controlled, and he abides by the scriptures. Therefore, his life is sublime and divine. Selfless, compassionate. These are sadhus. This is the meaning of a sadhu. And in the next session, we are going to discuss in detail about a sadhu. So with that, I end today's discussions. If there are any questions or comments, they are welcome. You can either type your message in the chat box, or you can raise your hand and unmute yourself. But before we leave, I want to make some announcements. I think I should first make the announcements because it is getting a little bit late. Announcement number 1. We are doing some morning mantra meditation exercise. Morning 6 a.m. Some fortunate, interested people are joining. We want all of you to be fortunate, but selectively people are joining. They join and they chant 1 round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and then my friends, they explain them, whoever joins, 1 verse of Bhagavad-Gita. 6 to 6:30 wrap up. So we are doing this exercise. I would request all of you to take part in it. This is a very, very important exercise, mantra meditation circle. It's happening every day. Please take good opportunity of it. Take this as an exercise until Janmashtami. Janmashtami is on 30th of August. Try this for a week or so and see if it helps you. If it doesn't help you, then go back to sleep. Who's stopping you? But if it does help you, then you have you've made a great achievement in your life if this helps you. Second thing, Janmashtami is around the corner. I've already circulated the message of Krishna Karuna kit. I hope that all of you have seen it. You all have got the Karuna of Krishna somehow. Please reach out to as many people as possible. The kind of sessions which we are having now, I will start a fresh session from the month of September, and try to get as many new people for these sessions. Try to go to as many new people and register them for this Krishna Karuna kit. And lastly, from today, there is a Krishna Katha series which is starting. I will post the details about it. It happens every evening. We are inviting special speakers to speak on various pastimes of Krishna, preparing our consciousness for Janmashtami. So I request all of you to join from that also. There may be a fourth announcement. There may be a possibility that instead of starting from 12, we may have to start from 1 p.m. And there is some clash of resources. Like right now, there is a clash of resource. Somebody is calling me. They need this Zoom license to have a separate meeting. So we have to readjust the timings. There is a possibility that the classes may start from 1 p.m. Ravi Tej Prabhuji, I will request you to call me personally right now and discuss. I'll have to end this session. I have overshot time. Thank you very much. Please understand that the basis of these sessions is japa. Japa is the basis of Krishna consciousness. If you are attending these sessions and not chanting, then it's not very fruitful. So please chant Hare Krishna incessantly all the time, on beads, at least few rounds, and otherwise the whole day.